Look, we're stuck in the system, we can't get out. It's time for a change, stop running your mouth. I'm looking for words, but I can't get it out. Look for the light, but the sun blotted out.
Hold on, let me hop on the beat. Cause social injustice and prisoner mindset is something we gotta defeat. We idle these hoes and wear all these clothes with shoes that can't be creased. Steady looking for substance and change, but we searching all up in these streets.
Got a stain on my shirt that I can't get out. My people on high like the top of the mount. We thirsting for truth, but there's no spout. Look for a savior, but no one around.
But no one's around, but where do they look? It ain't in the church, it ain't in the book. We can't get a job, so we rather crook. They got us in chains, a fish on a hook.
Look, harvesting not bodies, harvesting not organs. Got them real big mad, cause they culture boring. Pimping the poor, Jim Crow at the door. Selling our souls, our daughters a whore. I wanna give in, can't take it no more. Don't wanna believe our people are more.
We swept our cup when we look at decline. We got a new bottle, it's filled with...
Hello. Welcome all my MACM people to another MACM Make a Culture Move podcast, where we cover everything from intense social topics to funny social. Welcome all MACM people to another MACM Make a Culture Move. All of us. I'll go ahead and go first. Mark, Jonathan, I allow them to introduce themselves.
G.
Aja.
AJ.
Big KT.
Right.
Me out of the big.
Yes, sir. And as y'all can see, we got a little something different for y'all today. We're going to try to be here Thursday mornings for y'all, but we're going to definitely get this show popping off. But before we get started, if we could have our brief disclaimer.
So y'all know, you feel me, on the Make a Culture Move podcast, we cover everything Black, news, politics, entertainment, sports, controversy, all that good stuff, you feel me? And with that, some of the topics that we talk about may be a little controversy. And so we just ask that if something said here today on any of our segments make you feel some type of way, think about why it made you feel that way. Think about that. Why did it make you feel some type of way? And then if you still feel some type of way, you can hit us up and we can bring you on a show and we can talk about it. Because we love bringing people onto the show and talking about it. But don't just come jumping down our necks because we said something that hurt your feelings or you disagreed with. Because we're going to do a lot of that. So you can't just come jumping down our necks and wanting to beat us up. It can't work like that. Think about why you felt that way and then hit us up and we could talk about it. You feel me? But with that being said, as y'all see, you feel me? We done added some hosts to our platform. And so we going to, jump this thing off right and start with some check-ins. We're going to start with Sis Aja. How you feeling?
I'm pretty good. I'm a little upset because I lost one of my AirPods. It's a long story behind that, but yeah, I'm finna get some more probably today, but I'm doing good other than that. I'll pass it to KT.
I'm doing good. The snow been having me a little messed up, man. I'm ready to see sun every day. Start breaking out the gym shorts, you know what I mean? Yeah, but other than that, I'm solid. I'm good. I'll pass it to Tom.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I don't really fuck with the cold like that. So just wait for the sun to come back out. It's looking like it's about to be bright today, but you never know. But besides that, I'm chilling. And I'll pass it to AJ.
You're muted, bro.
Damn. Great slip up. Yeah, I'm straight though. I'm 100. All this snow. Pretty much, I like this snow, you know what I mean? Like, I'm a spring baby, so just seeing the, weather of all types of, rain, snow, like hailstorms, stuff like that, like, you know what I mean? I think it's beautiful, but pretty much I'm good. Yeah, so who else? Is it G?
Me?
It's on me.
I'm feeling good. It's snowing out here too, so, kind of ready for that to be done with. But other than that, you feel me? It's Thursday, Friday Junior, ready to, end the rest of the week off. So I'm feeling good. Got everybody? We all went cool. We feeling
Well,
good.
shoot, I'm doing good.
Oh, Oh, my
Hey.
bro, Mark. Damn, ain't nobody passed it to bro. Mark, family, how are you?
Nah, I can't complain. Hopefully these roads clear up so I can go ahead and get to work safe first and foremost. But yeah, I'm doing good. Excited to get this back going. So fun.
Boom.
All
Okay,
right.
cool. So yeah, like we said, y'all, we starting a little differently. So we each gonna have a segment that we talk, something quick, you feel me? And then we gonna have a real big discussion for y'all. So this first segment is brought to y'all by our very own Aja with some black affirmations. You feel me? Coming through with the black affirmations.
Black affirmations.
Love to see it.
Well, thank you, G, for the introduction, I guess. But so mines are very brief, but I feel like they all kind of I don't know, it's a way for me to talk to myself, but I also know that this can be helpful to others as well. So the first one is today is a new day to begin again. Now that kind of, I am very easily irritated. And so something that happened last week may still be messing with me and then, cause me to get angry about something small or something like that. And so that kind of just, let what happened in the past kind of go to the best of your ability and move on with your day and move on, in a positive way, I guess you can say. So that's the first one. And then the second one is Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 11. And it says, it's 28. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to put 29, but it's 28. Maybe it is 29. Hold on. No, it is 29. It's right. It's Jeremiah 29. My bad. Okay, so it says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans for welfare and not for evil, to give you a future and a hope." Now, that one, I just find myself at times kind of upset with where I am in life. I feel like I should be further, or I feel like I should be doing more with my life. Or, I see people with like clothing businesses, or they're selling lip gloss, or they're selling lashes, or they're selling something to accumulate more wealth. And I just feel like, dang, Aja, you're not really doing as much as you could be doing. But then I have to kind of remind myself that their path and what they're doing isn't necessarily for me. Just because that's successful for them doesn't mean that I would have the same outcome in that situation. So like I said, those are kind of talking to me, but I also know that other people may need to hear that to kind of motivate them to, push forward. So yeah, those are my affirmations for today.
Can I get an
I like
amen?
that.
Can I get an amen?
Amen.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. All right, but we appreciate you, Aja, as always. What we got next, G? Is it on me?
Our next one is on you, bro. Black excellence. What you got for us?
Absolutely, absolutely. So, my first one, I'm gonna go ahead and basically shout out the Netflix series, Colin in Black and White. If you guys haven't seen it, it's an amazing show. And in the first few episodes, he really depicts like basically his startup, having his parents and all that, and wanting to go to a black school, wanting to do things the black way, have cornrows, have afro type of hair, but his parents wasn't really accepting all of that. And then I don't know if it was the first or the second, but he basically re-simulated the NFL Combine, and then compared it to how it was super similar to how they used to pick slaves and sell slaves. You feel me? So they measured oh, this one's very muscular, this one can jump super high, this one's very strong, this one's very fast, et cetera, et cetera. How they would pick in the combine, and then just related the two to how they pick, or how they used to pick slaves. So yeah, that was very interesting. You feel me? Definitely shout out to Colin Kaepernick. Love his blackness. Love what he did with the that whole Netflix series. And it's only 6 episodes. It's definitely gonna leave you wanting more. So I definitely say go ahead and tap into that. And then the second one I have for you all, um, I won't share my screen, but this was an entrepreneur that paid all his black team of employees 2.5 million in payroll, and then 1 million in commission in 2021. So just shout out to him for one, owning his business, and then keeping an all black team and making sure they're getting paid for their hard work. So just shout out to them. That's my black excellence for today. Real short and sweet. Yeah, shout out to those people.
That's a bet. That's a bet. Definitely, y'all. If y'all haven't seen the Colin and Kaepernick, if you're interested, definitely check that out. I ain't watched it. I heard it was real good though. I did. I heard it was real good. My mom watched it. She tried to loop me in and drag me into that a couple times, but you know, I can only take so much whiteness at a time. You feel me? But y'all heard it was really dope. So check it out. Check it out for sure. For sure. Somebody help, somebody get me on the banners. But the next one is entertainment. Me, you feel me? I got you on the entertainment portion. So what we got going on right now? Just a couple things. Proud Family reboot. For those of y'all who grew up on the Proud Family, if you don't have Disney Plus, borrow somebody's Disney Plus. The reboot, Louder and Prouder. I think this came out yesterday. I'm feeling it. It's definitely lit. For my Kanye fans, Donda 2 dropped on 2/2/2/2/2/2/2. You feel me? Dropped a couple days ago on Tuesday. Only on Stem Player. If you don't have Stem Player, you can't get the album. But to my Kanye fans, go ahead and do that. I'm not getting Stem Player just to listen to an album. I'm not. But for those of you who want to take that route, there you go. Donda 2 Stem Player. I heard it was a banger. I heard he got some bangers on there. You feel me? One of them, he said, "My mama said you can't be on my album." What? My mama said. My mama said what? You feel me? Check that out, Kanye fans. And that's all I really got for y'all. You feel me? Louder and Prouder from Proud Family on Disney Plus. Check that out. And check out some Kanye. If you a Kanye fan. Boom. That's what I got for the entertainment. Next piece we got for y'all. KT, you got something for us for sports?
Man, come on. I always got something for y'all.
Oh, y'all, he got something.
It's one thing. We don't keep it, short today. But basically I've been like looking in Jackson State, Deion Sanders, if y'all familiar with him, took over at HBCU. And there's a lot of controversy with other colleges because he's kind of taking all the good black players, basically from all the other colleges because they don't want to go and play for these other universities no more. They'll rather go where they're accepted and they're wanted. And other colleges got problems with that. They don't like that. And it just rubbed me the wrong way because it's like, finally we get some when it comes to the game of football and, having an HBCU have a full football program. And now it's always something. I just feel like, we can't win for losing. You know what I mean? So now some players are scared to go there, or Deion gotta do multiple interviews just to keep the peace, and it's just a mess right now. So I say if you are an athlete, a black 5-star athlete, and you want to go to HBCU, go to HBCU. You know what I mean? If you want to go to a university, go to a university. It's up to you. It don't matter. But me personally, I would want to play where my culture's at. So that's what I got for y'all today.
Hey, that's a bet, y'all. I'm telling y'all, them HBCUs is slept on. They definitely slept on. You feel me? But like bro said, you have choices. You feel me? Go to a HBCU, go to a PWI, go where you're comfortable, but don't sleep on them HBCUs. Just don't sleep on them. Don't sleep on them. You feel me?
The point
Oh,
is,
y'all, unfortunately, Tone must be having some connection issues. You feel me? We understand that snow really do it come and creep up on you and it just knock you out. You feel me? Just knock you out. But he's our hood politics guy, so you feel me? If he tap back in with us when he come, we got some hood politics coming from the homeboy Tone. But while he's gone, you feel me? We got our conspiracy nigga AJ coming with some controversy. He got the controversy for y'all.
Before we get into that, you feel me? Just before we get away from sports, I just wanted to say it's important to understand that y'all are the demand. That's the only reason they're mad about it. You feel me?
Literally.
So really, the choice is up to y'all. You feel me? if y'all want to go to a WPI or no PWI, I'm sorry, predominantly white institution, you know, you're more inclined. You feel me? You know, all of them, Texas, Alabama, they're going to be great schools as far as football goes. But the biggest point in what he's saying is y'all have the choice to decide, and they clearly want you. That's the only reason there's controversy. But yeah, my fault. Go ahead, Jay.
Yep. So even just to add on to that, you know what I mean? Like thinking about it, like Mark was saying, with like as far as all of these conspiracies and stuff going with like the sport being like as far as related to a slave, a slave back in the slavery days. So it's kind of like you go to a combine and you're tested on all of these things. It's the same thing when you get into the league. You pretty much got to do what they say. You know what I mean? You getting paid for it. Don't get me wrong. You getting paid for it. You know, it's a lane to get paid for. But just putting that in y'all minds to where it's like y'all want to make sure y'all put yourselves in the right position to succeed no matter what you do, as far as that goes. So yeah, but you know, I got some conspiracy stuff for y'all. So pretty much y'all know, like, I mean, I hope y'all know, but I mean, the war is getting heated with Russia and Ukraine. You know what I mean? They just invaded Ukraine. And so pretty much my whole thing is everywhere you look, we on TikTok, we on Facebook, Instagram, doing these reels, all that. But are y'all ready? Like, y'all ain't ready. Like, you know, so yeah,
War?
this is leading to our actual topics, you know, so.
Hey, no, that war not being ready, that's real. I literally just asked my baby brother last night, are y'all talking about the war in school? He said, what war? I said, the one we in right now. The one that just started, the one that just started. He said, nah, we talk about old stuff. Okay, so they're not even informing y'all what's going on in the world. Like, Russia's not playing. And you know, the land of the good, great, and free definitely got to make sure we do our due diligence and go help in wars that have nothing to do with us. We always got to make sure we plant our mark and swing our flag in countries that we ain't got shit to do with. Are y'all ready for a war? That's the shit. I ain't ready. I'm gonna be honest. I ain't ready. I'm gonna be completely honest with y'all. I ain't ready. Y'all know they was over in the Ukraine training their regular citizens how to fight. The Ukraine's military was training the citizens because they knew Russia was getting ready to come and invade. And you feel me? Because Russia played. Let me tell y'all real quick before we get into the discussion about the war. Putin basically decided he wanted Ukraine. He felt like the Ukraine wasn't being properly governed and he felt like he could do a better job. So he said, I want it. And he went and set his troops up at the border and just sat there and said, I'm coming. I'm not telling y'all when I'm coming, but I'm coming. And that's what he did. You feel me? And so Ukraine was like, shit, y'all, Putin's coming. We got to train our citizens. And they got their military out there in the streets with the women, the children, the men, everybody teaching them how to fight. What do America do for us, y'all? What do America do for us when shit's finna go down?
Real shit. And then just to keep it 100 too, like, if you look at it, this stuff stemmed back to Donald Trump. You know what I mean? Like, it stemmed back to Donald Trump as far as just what he had to do with Russia, you know what I mean, as far as votes and shit like that. And then now you looking at it from a full head. Now, you know, Putin got the big cojones to, you know, go over and fuck with Ukraine, basically saying this is gonna be ours. And then basically, you know, when you look at it from that perspective, maybe a year or two ago, we was beefing with Korea. You know what I mean? We had beef with them. So really, like, this is World War III ready to break out if you look at it any other way. Russia said they not fucking around. Like, you want to put your hand in our business? Well, let's see. And you know what I mean? As soon as one go, then the next go, then you got, you know, allies on their side and allies on this side. So y'all better be ready because you know, I mean, this shit can get nuclear real quick, you know, and you won't know when something hit. You just won't. So you know what I mean? You got to get your mind tapped into shit like this, you know what I mean? World news, just as far as like mentally being prepared for stuff. Like one day, like as far as COVID goes, you know what I mean? We 2 years removed from when this shit initially started. And like I remember motherfuckers was like, hey man, we downtown and we got troops downtown, like they making us stay in the house. Like, you know what I mean? So if you don't mentally prepare yourself, you're gonna be in a hell of a like reckoning, like real shit. So
I think the reason why I think, like you were saying, a lot of people's on social media and stuff are not worried about it. I feel like it's because like a lot of people think like, well, it's out of my hands. Like there's not much I can do. I can't sit here and stress myself every day about a war that I can't control. Like whatever happened is gonna happen. Like I can't sit here and be like,
That's
oh,
American privilege.
exactly. You know what I mean? So people just like, oh, and then
Yeah, that
people,
is
a
true
lot
though.
of people. Go ahead, Tom.
Oh, I was gonna say, yeah, most people ain't really know. I mean, that shit is crazy if some shit get caught off guard. Cause ain't
yeah, and
nobody
then
finna fight no Russian people, bro. They be fighting
and
bears
just
and
to
shit.
like, you know what I mean? Like looking at that shit, like Ukraine, they streets is piled with cars, like they trying to flee. Like so, imagine if like, let's say for example, Cali gets hit, everybody's gonna be trying to flee Cali. Like this shit's real. Like people are not prepared for this shit, and like you can't prepare yourself. You know what I mean? As far as physically, but at least mentally, you can be like, okay, like I at least know what's going on in my surroundings. You know, so mentally, like you got to prepare yourself to be strong rather than to break down. That's what I would say.
At least
You know what I mean?
Colorado in the middle of the
But I
country.
mean, like, how do you really prepare yourself for
You can't.
something mental
You
like
can't.
that?
You know what I mean? You
Like
can't.
mentally, like we since we been here, we ain't never had to deal with nothing like that.
Yes,
So now
ma'am.
you telling me I gotta mentally prepare myself to die?
Yes,
Like
ma'am.
I don't. You can't do that. Like I don't understand how.
I think this leads
Yes,
to one of
ma'am.
our next topics. You know what I'm saying? And it got a lot to do with music, but
You need
I
to
get
buy
what you're
some
saying.
ammo. That's buy some ammo. I don't know what else to tell you. Buy some ammo. But before we get into our main discussion, if that's all everybody had to say, Tony, you want to hit us with your hood politics?
Oh yeah, you know. So typical hood shit happened to me. Got me off the fucking broadcast, but now I'm back. Uh, I just wanted to bring a topic that, like, you know what I'm saying. If you in the streets or if you just in like different shit that come up a lot, you know, it's about to be the first of the month come around the corner. And if you know the first of the month, then you know the first of the month is the time to get the money if you're gonna be in the streets with it. But just a big situation with like I see it a lot because I grew up around it and all that. Like there be moments where you get on and stuff, but then if you really look around, it be the same people doing the same shit, sound the same sack. So it just seems like it's like a never ending cycle or whatever. There's very few people that really like could bubble up and like blow up off of that shit. If 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 like to be real honest with you, like I know people that's working 9 to 5 low key making more money than people in the streets. Because if you take into like re up, a lot of people really just be doing that shit for the lifestyle. It don't even be like you really trying to get out of your situation or I got to get this. It really just to be able to say like I'd rather sell drugs than work a job when in actuality you spending most of your money on your re-up, so you putting all that bread back into the bucket, and you probably making like $100 off of whatever you selling. And I see that shit a lot, and I just think that that's just like something that people should talk about more, cause like it's all cool and all, but it really ain't getting you nowhere. Cause at the end of the day, you really taking a chance with your like the risk reward is not really up there for it, to be honest. Like if you think about it, if you know there's a high risk for some and you're not getting a big reward, you're not gonna do it. Common sense would tell you to do that, but common sense don't tell you in the hood like you facing more time and all that shit doing this than you is if you just to work a regular ass shit. But common sense would just tell you to go the right way, but it's easier to do that than it is to actually do it. So that's really all I got to say on that topic. But that's just something that I thought I'd bring up from my little hood politics or whatever from my segment.
Hey, that's a bet. That's real. Y'all better take these golden nuggets from Tone. You feel me? Y'all better take these golden nuggets from Tone because he coming through with them. All right, y'all. Now the discussion. And we finna hit y'all with something. And so the topic is murder-suicide. The situation or scenario is so for those of you if you haven't seen this video, you can find it on Instagram. I'm pretty sure on the Shade Room they cover almost everything. If not, I'll get that information and y'all can check the page later and find that video. But boom, this is the story. So guy, man, father, black man, he gets into it with his baby mom, who was pregnant with their baby at the time, and she threatens to keep the children from him. Now, backstory: his ex-wife is already accusing him of molesting the kids, right? Of the kids that he has with his wife, and so that's thing one. You feel me? His ex-wife is accusing him of molesting his own children. Now, boom, come two, you feel me? She already keeping the kids from him. Now his new girl, baby mom, she get pregnant. They get into an argument. She immediately, you won't be in my child's life. You won't get to be around my child. He snaps, y'all. He snaps and he shoots her and kills her. Double homicide because she was pregnant, right? So that's a double homicide. Then he starts thinking, his mind starts going and he starts thinking and he decides that it's his ex-wife's fault why he feels like he accidentally killed his baby mom. He felt like it was an accident. He didn't mean to do it, but he felt like it was his ex-wife's fault. It's her fault. So now I'm finna go murk her. And he says in the video, it's her time. You feel me? He shows up to her spot. He's explaining in the video how as a man, one, he's hurt that his ex-wife is lying on him saying that he molested the kids. Now, we don't know if it's true or we don't know if it's not true. We don't know. He's saying it's a lie. You feel me? The ex-wife is accusing him of raping them or molesting the children. And that's hurting his feelings as a man, his pride as a man, as a father, right? And then next situation, he's hurt that his baby mom decided, you feel me, you ain't gonna be able to see the kid when the kid is born. And then he kills her. So his brain is all boggled, right? Then he goes and he murks his ex-wife and then kills himself. And then he kills himself. That's the scenario and that's the situation. Before I say whatever I got to say on it, I'm gonna let my family, you feel me? I'm gonna let my family give their thoughts on the situation, and we're gonna talk about this a little bit. So I don't know who wants to go first and who wants to have at it first, but
I'm gonna be real. I feel like he was a little out of line. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm like, there's a way to handle every situation, and the fact that you took that woman and your child out of this world over a rumor or whatever the case may be. Because I've heard people say worse, and I don't mean you just you just go and be like, oh well.
Bad. What the hell was they saying?
Yeah, oh bro, trust me, I've heard worse. But what I'm saying is that's not.
Oh my God, yeah, right. That is.
You can handle situations differently. That's all I'm gonna say. Like killing somebody ain't gotta be your first result. That's just my take on
it. I agree.
Yeah, I understand like the situation, but because I know how shit gets. You do have like that shit brings up a different anger, but I ain't never once been like I'm about to kill everybody and kill myself. But fuck, that shit is crazy. I can't even explain that because that shit.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't know.
bro was
To
on
me,
something.
it's no excuse. It's no excuse. It's no justification. Like, there's worse stuff that could be said, and there's ways to handle you being lied on. You could have went, and if it wasn't true, he could have went and sued her for character slander or something like that. There's different ways to go about it, but all of that was uncalled for. And then on top of that, he was upset because he couldn't see his children, but in the end, he hurt them more than they would have been hurt from not being able to see him by taking both of their parents. And then on top, on top of that, he took both of their parents and he
Exactly.
took himself. That's such a coward way. I strongly dislike when people do that. If you have, if you feeling big and bad enough to do what you did and you killed, the mother of your kids and all this other stuff, deal with the consequences that come with it. Don't cop out and be like, oh, I can't believe I did that, or whatever he was thinking in the moments where he killed himself. You did it, so deal with what comes with it. So that's my opinion.
My take on it, I agree with all y'all. First of all, because I don't think that killing somebody's never like the reaction that you need to have in order to react to somebody. But really looking at it, that is a reaction from something. And so when you look at it as a reaction, he reacted to her and her family pretty much bullying him. So in that case, he pretty much was like, well, man, like we all gonna go out. So in this case, like how could her or her family prevented it? You know what I'm saying? First of all, you don't go and slander somebody's name. There's ways to go about this as far as if you're molesting somebody, whatever, you confront that person. If you can't confront that person, you need to separate yourself from that person. You know what I'm saying? Legally, there's a lot of ways to do that. So, you know what I mean? There's never the case to where, okay, I can't get separate from this person. Yes, the child, father of my child. But at the same time, I believe this is going on. So if we could get some type of test, whatever, like, let's do it. But we got to go through these processes because I'm not going to continue to let my child, that's the number one thing, my child getting abused. You know what I mean? And then B, like, you never know if somebody's going to snap like that or like if they just going to be quiet. Like sometimes people just, you know what I mean? Like just let them keep talking, and that'd be it. But I don't think that he should
I
have
ain't
did
gonna
that.
lie.
So
Going along with that, and I'm just full of Bible scriptures today, but that goes with, I don't know the verse, the chapter, none of that, but God has said that revenge is not yours to take. So regardless, even still going along with that, he could have found something else, but to feel that both of his baby's moms deserve to die, that's him putting himself in a position of power that he didn't have, that he shouldn't have given himself, I guess you could say. And so, like you were saying, there's different, like everybody said, there's different ways to go about it. And that's why, to me, there's no justification for it. I don't care if realistically, I don't care what she said. I don't care what she did to kill the mother of your children and kill your child in the
Yeah, that
process.
was wicked.
That's, to me, there's no type of justification for that. Unless she tried to kill you or something like of equal, situations. Other than that, there's no justification in my mind. So.
Yeah, bro can't say he was. I ain't gonna lie, that's something that you can't fix. Like that ain't mental health or something. Bro had that shit in him because it's different to kill somebody, but to kill yourself, like bro was a ticking time bomb or something. Because that shit is crazy. Like,
and if you look at the situation, I feel like not saying it's selfish, like because you didn't
Mm-hmm.
think about the mom, you didn't think about the child, especially the child. You're supposed to put your child first. So I think it was hella selfish for him to even do that. And I think back to what a lot of people have told me. Like a lot of people told me, like, "Hey man, if I ever go to prison, if I ever do this, or if I ever got to do this for life, I'm gonna kill myself because ain't no way." Like I'm gonna go through prison and live through what prison got to go through. So a lot of people are willing to take their life over something or something small that they might have done in their past. So maybe he did molest the girl. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he
Mm-hmm.
did feel victimized as far as like, hey, I did something wrong. But because like it got to his head like that. Like he was like, well, I gotta take my life now too because I'm not gonna deal with this for the rest of my life, thinking about what I did and the mistakes I done did. So that might be a reason too.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Because even like when I watch movies with my mom or something like that, and then somebody is in the wrong or whatever, and we'll be like, he's not saying much of anything, so maybe he is wrong. But then in other situations, we'll be like, dang, he's doing a whole bunch of talking, so maybe he's wrong. So in this situation, I mean, there is a possibility, and that's why he felt the need to kind of eliminate any type of evidence, because he didn't give himself a opportunity to fight back, to have any type of rebuttal to what he was being accused of, which makes it seem like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna just go ahead and eliminate the situation so that I ain't got to deal with it and nobody knows what's potentially going on. So I agree with that.
Yeah, exactly. Because if you ain't do no nasty ass shit, I don't give a fuck. I mean, it is gonna take a lot of money out your pocket, but I don't know though. That is some crazy ass shit to fucking say you did. That would make you want to kill somebody though. Like, damn. Well, I don't know about killing your pregnant. Like, bro, that's still your child ain't even been born yet. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Mark?
I mean, everything y'all said was pretty much facts. I mean, I think Buddy was definitely wilding, but I think it's really. I don't know how I would react to you know someone saying that I did any harm to my child, especially like as far as molestation goes. But I definitely don't think I'd kill my girlfriend and my unborn child. So ultimately I agree with y'all. Buddy was definitely wilding.
Okay, my turn. I'm gonna play devil's advocate. Now, I agree with what everybody said. Absolutely. There's always a different way and a better way to go about things. Murder is definitely not the option and choice you want to go with. You did the crime, you need to figure out how you gonna do that time. You feel me? There's a million other things he could have done and gone about that situation. Not playing devil's advocate here. A lot of Black men are unaware of the resources that they have at their fingertips. They just don't know. And not because they're ignorant or dumb, because it's withheld from them. And they're just unaware of certain, you feel me, help that they can get in situations like that, especially when being a father. Two, women are the most decisive, manipulative creatures on this planet. They're hurtful, they're rude, they're cruel, they're evil. Women can be evil. If you've never met an evil woman, bless your soul, because women can be evil. Women who hold power over a man, and children are power. Children are power over men. And women know that. So when women hold that type of power over a man, and she knows that she can use those children to hurt him, she does that. She does that. Women do it all the time. It happens every single day, especially in the Black community. So that's number two that I'm gonna play with devil's advocate. Three, what if he tried to get help already? What if he reached out to somebody and tried to get help and nobody wanted to hear his side of the story? One, because he's a Black man, right? Who listens to Black men? Like real shit. Who listens to Black men? Who takes their feelings seriously? Every time a Black man cries anger, sadness, depression, mental health, they're called crazy and they're dismissed. So who's to say he didn't already try to get help in these situations, right? We don't know any of that. Is he wrong? Yes. 100% absolutely he's wrong. Nothing can justify him being right in this scenario at all, starting with killing the pregnant mom, the baby mom pregnant. That right there was like just number one, just out of line completely. But in the video he said it's not something that he wanted to do or meant to do. How though? You had a gun out. Now, to me, How I grew up, you up the toolie, you use the toolie. Don't pull that motherfucker out and you not ready to use it. You blam that whammy. You feel me? So that's why that part right there is kind of like, well, what was your intentions then if you weren't gonna use it? Your intentions had to be to hurt her if you pulled it out. That's how I think about that with the very first one and killing the big mom, because he claimed it was an accident.
Mm-hmm.
That's hard for me to believe when you didn't accidentally push her off of a building or out of the window was open and you pushed her and she accidentally fell out the window or something like that. Something a little more accidental. Pulling a trigger is not that accidental. It's kind of intentional. You feel me? It's a little intent that goes along with that. But his mind frame and where his mind was at is something that I can understand the hurt and the pain that he was going through, because it's something that Black men experience all the time. Black men's feelings do not get taken serious ever. And it's a problem within the society. It's a problem within our community and within our society. The way they feel about things, especially when it comes to that baby mama, baby daddy shit, right? That's the whole chaos in itself, which is so not biblical, because you're supposed to get married and then have your kids, and it's supposed to be like that, but that's not the reality, right? That's not reality. Reality is that everybody is out here bumping and grinding, and boom, people get pregnant by men they barely know, because maybe it was a sneaky link or a one night stand or a fling, or who knows. Some people don't even date anymore. They just get together and get to bumping. So it's things that you really got to be careful with. There's no justification for what he did. He's wrong. That's the answer to the question. Was he wrong? Absolutely. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. But he's not the only one to blame for how he felt. His feelings, he's not the only person to blame for that. Those women are to blame for that as well. Did they deserve to die? No. Do those children, the children that he currently had with the wife, do they deserve to grow up being in the system? I don't know if they have family or not. You feel me? Sometimes children go to other family members. Sometimes they get put into the system. Sometimes they get split up. That's a whole fucked up situation in itself. Selfish. What did AJ say? Selfish. That's selfish. As a father, for you to kill the mother of your kids, whether she said what she said or not, you could have took that to court and proved she was wrong and lying. Whether she said what she said or not, you could have easily took her to court and be like, hold up. Let's talk to the kids. Let's talk to the kids. So there's definitely other ways he could have went about that situation. He was wrong. But I don't want to excuse the fact that he's not the only person responsible for how he felt and his feelings in the situation. And with this, wanted to use it and to show that Black men's feelings really need to be taken more seriously. In the day and age that we live in, that we're growing up in, that we're witnessing, it's really not okay. It's not okay to play with anybody's emotions. Anybody at all. Don't play with people's emotions and feelings, because you never know when somebody is on the verge of breaking. You don't know what somebody's breaking point is. You don't know when they're ready to break. So it's not cool to play with people's emotions in general. But Black men don't even get the satisfaction of being taken seriously. Ever. Ever. And maybe I'm the only person who feels like that, but it's something that I notice and I see continuously in our community, in our society. In society, I mean, like with big celebrities and entertainers, the Black men, their feelings don't get taken seriously. But then like locally, people you know personally. People I know personally. Black men I know personally. They feel as if they're not allowed to express themselves when they're feeling a certain type of way. If they're not happy, they're not allowed to express anything else. Nothing. And that is something that I feel like definitely needs to be reversed and changed. Black men have feelings. They matter. They matter. 100% they matter. And if you feel like Black men's feelings don't matter, then you are the problem. And you need to reevaluate yourself in your own heart. And that's all I got to say on that.
Okay, so okay, I'm gonna start from the second reasoning. I think you said was how children are pretty much men's vulnerable spot. With that, that's true. That is true. However, to me, he wasn't thinking about them kids when he took them kids' moms. So, I mean,
He
it's
wasn't,
like,
but that's the pain that caused it. That's the pain that caused it. He wasn't, because it's selfish that he even. It was selfish of him to even think about killing his ex-wife. That was just because that's who's raising your kids.
mm-hmm.
That's who your children are with. So to even think about wanting to take her away from them, that was selfish entirely, and he wasn't thinking about that. When it came down to it, he wasn't thinking about anybody but himself, because his feelings were hurt. His pride was dismantled. His ego was torn down. So he wasn't thinking about anybody else at all. But it's the act of using the children that caused him to even feel those feelings in the first place.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, but then at that same extent, he shouldn't have allowed it to get that far. For him to feel like, yeah, the only way I can get out is if I take literally the mother of my unborn child, that then went a long way. I don't know how old them kids is that he has, but evidently stuff has been building up. And like you said, yeah, you know, some Black men or whatever, just within the Black community in general, we don't know what resources are given to us. But as a father, he should have taken that into consideration and been like, yeah, this is getting too far. Too much is going on. Either we need to go to court, we need to do family counseling, we need to do something, because like I said, for all that to build up, that's a lot to build up. And like you said, what was his original intention when he had the gun? He said it was, you know, accidental, but you didn't accidentally pull it from where it was at, you know? So it's like, it's iffy. It's really, really iffy. And like, you know, them kids at that time weren't in his mind. So they couldn't have been too much of a vulnerable spot for him if he pretty much ruined their life, really. And so then, what else was I gonna say? I feel like we're giving the victims too much credit in their final fate, I guess you can say. Because yes, they did push him to that point. But at the end of the day, they're both adults. They're both grown-ups. He needs to learn to he should have learned how to handle his emotions better. And I know that that's way easier said than done, because like I said, I'm very easily angered, easily irritated. I'm very nitpicky. So stuff gets to me. However, I know, because I have siblings, I know I can't take my anger out on them. I know I know when I'm feeling too upset, either I need to chill in my room, I need to listen to some music, I need to do something to calm me down. And so with him being grown, with him being a father, with him dealing with both of these baby moms, probably knowing how they are, knowing how they talk, knowing how they act, knowing whatever the case, he should have known how to handle that situation. And so to say, you know, they may not have been listening to his feelings, or, you know, stuff like that. We're giving them too much credit in him killing them. That's what it is. Period, point blank. He killed them. They didn't say, oh yeah, kill me, you know, like not like that, but we're giving them too much credit, because really their actions are not equal to what his actions were. Simple as that. That's how I feel. So like, I mean, that's what I'm saying. I truly don't feel no justification, no sympathy for him. Realistically, I really don't. I've been lied on. My parents have been lied on. My grandparents, everybody's been lied on. But to feel the need to take their life because of that, that's doing a whole.
I'm not sympathizing. I'm empathizing, because I understand what it's like for Black men to be in that situation. I know them personally.
Yeah, because you don't.
So I'm not sympathizing. I'm not giving him any sympathy or saying that what he did was right or okay or justified at all. I'm empathizing, because I understand how it can get to that level. I understand how Black men stop thinking at a certain point, because to them there's nothing more to think about. I understand that in his life he probably, like you said, you have siblings, I have siblings, you know how it's like to grow up and learn how to deal with other people. What if he didn't have any other family at all? Some people never learn how to deal with their emotions, never learn how to actually interact properly with other people in the world. Just because they have relationships with people doesn't mean they know how to properly interact in those relationships and make them work and functioning. People have dysfunctioning relationships all the time. So I'm not sympathizing at all. I'm empathizing because I understand. I understand how he got to a point of not thinking, how he got to a point of where nothing matters right now but how I feel. Because probably for so long, how he felt didn't matter. So I'm empathizing because a lot of Black men get to that point where it's like they stop thinking. They let everything go out the window and then their emotions take over. And when your emotions take over, you really can't control how much you do if you don't know how to control your emotions. People who are emotionally aware control their emotions a little bit better. But people who don't know how to control their emotions, they let their emotions control them. And when your emotions control you, that's not a thought process. You're not thinking anymore. You're just acting. And that's what this situation was. He was acting. That's it. That's all. After he pulled that trigger the first time on his baby mom, he stopped thinking. It was no more thought process. His only thought was, this is my ex-wife's fault, which didn't make sense. But to him, it did. To him, it did. It made sense in his head. This is my ex-wife's fault and I'm finna go off her and then off myself because I can't do jail time. That was his only thought process. The kids went out of his mind. Logic went out of his mind because men are more logical than women. Logic completely went out of his mind. Everything that he probably knew was right went out of his mind because he already fucked up. He already fucked up by killing the baby mom. And he probably already thought, I can't go to jail.
It
That's
was
a
over
coward.
for him. He
That's
already
a
knew
coward.
it. He already
Tone,
knew.
am I tripping or was Tone saying
Yeah,
something?
once he killed the first baby mama, he already accepted what he was about to do.
But then that's my
Because I
thing.
mean, I can understand him maybe wanting to get your baby mamas touched up for after the whole situation, like, but killing them, yeah,
He
that's
killed her
crazy.
and that no
There's
more
no
thinking
excuse for that
happened.
shit.
Go ahead. Aja, what was you saying?
I was just saying that's the thing. After he killed the first baby's mom, realistically, something should have hit. After seeing her body drop, whatever.
Realistically, it should have, but he was no longer realistic. To him, he had fucked up and knew he couldn't go to jail. So what's next?
Yeah, but at that same time, depending upon how close his baby moms lived together, after seeing her body drop, after literally, okay, she's dead, let me leave and go get the other one. All that time, something should have clicked. Like, hold on, what's really going on? He went from her
if he
house
had
to the
somebody
next
that
one.
was probably giving him
He
logical
probably was
steps
thinking all
that
that
he
shit, but
talked to,
it's
maybe,
already
but he
done.
was full of anger. What'd you say, Tom?
That's what I'm saying. Time wise, that's a lot of anger still there. So that's what I'm saying. It's to me, that's why I keep
But
saying it's no.
you gotta think though, when you be angry and you get to a situation afterwards, you do be sitting there like, dang man, I low key was tripping a little harder than I should have. I know I'd be like that. And so, situation like that, once you already done pulled the trigger, bro, you might as well go to the full extent. Because now that shit makes sense. That's why because he didn't even really know what he was gonna do, but he's like, I already know I'm going to jail, so I might as well kill my ex or whatever. And then, like that, he was being a bitch because he wasn't gonna go to jail for it, so he killed himself. Which still is,
Because a
that shit is
coward can't
crazy.
deal
Because
with
people
that
that
type
kill
of
themselves,
time.
they don't strong as people. I can't say.
at the same time, he was still rational enough to pull out his phone and
Make a
start recording
video.
himself and make a video talking about some, oh yeah, I just did this, I just did that, and now I'm about to do this. And then literally as soon as he seen Shorty, like he put the phone down and just started.
Mhm.
Like I don't know, like I definitely see the both of y'all's points. Ultimately, um, if the question is he wrong? Without a doubt, he's definitely wilding. Um, could things have gone differently in almost every scenario? Like things could definitely go differently. But I mean, ultimately, Buddy wilded out. You feel me? There were a lot of different options. I just think he was to the point where, cause it's not necessarily, well, in a way, it's kind of easier route just to let your anger make the decisions for you. You feel me? Without using any type of reasoning or ration, especially when you've already committed murder. Like, you might as well. I mean, I'm saying it kind of bad, but I hope y'all get what I'm trying to say. But ultimately, I think, ultimately, he's definitely wrong. There were things he could have done differently, but he's definitely
Absolutely. Absolutely. And the sad thing is, he killed himself.
wrong. Hmm.
Like, that's the thing. You feel me? That he killed himself. So it's like you will never have to face the consequences for what you did. And you left your children with so many unanswered questions. So many unanswered questions. And like I just said, we don't know how old the kids are. So they could be young, they could be older. We don't know.
But
We
at
don't
the
know.
same time, that video is gonna stay on the internet
That
forever.
video is going that
So it's
once it's on the internet, it's up there. You feel me? I have a screen recorded on my phone. It ain't going nowhere. You feel me? So once it's on the internet, it's on the internet, and that's the thing.
them
His
kids.
children are going to, if they haven't already, depending on their ages, if they haven't already, one day that video is gonna surface and they're gonna see it. And that is just it's gonna be a piece of their identity, which is unfortunate. And so it's like stuff like that, like for those kids, that's going to be a piece of their identity that may be a breaking point for them, but nobody would ever know. You don't know what people's breaking points are. You don't know what causes them to explode or anything like that. The thing is, you yourself, if you don't know how to control your emotions, you're emotionally unaware, you're hurt, angry, you're harboring pain from when you're a child, anything, right? Seek help. Figure that out for yourself as early as you can and seek help. Because had this man sought out the proper help to help him with these rumors his ex-wife was spreading, to help him with the new situation with the baby mom, to help him with whatever he was fighting, whatever demons he was fighting in his own self that had nothing to do with either woman, because they were there. Everybody deals with that, right? So you got to seek help. You have to know when it's time for you yourself as an individual to seek help and get help for real, especially as a black person. One thing that black people that we really don't believe in is therapy and counseling, right? Because why are we gonna go sit in some white person's office and sit on their couch and tell them our business? That's the process that a lot of us grew up thinking. Change that perspective for you real quick. Get you a black therapist. Get you a black therapist. Be specific. That's the thing. With therapy, you can be specific and request for exactly who it is you want. If you want a black male therapist, get you a black male therapist. If you want you a black female therapist, get you a female. If you want a couple, get you a couple. If you want them to be religious, you could get you a religious counselor. You can get you a counselor that fits your needs perfectly for you, that's going to make you comfortable to go and speak to somebody to help your own self out, to avoid getting in situations as such. Because had he had he just been G about his shit, killed the baby mom, killed the ex-wife, and took his time, he'd be sitting in jail right now and hadn't killed himself. Had he been more emotionally aware and had more control of his emotions, probably never would have pulled the trigger in the first place. So there's things we can do for ourselves and put things in place to make sure that we control our narrative. That's the goal. Control your own narrative. But you if you're controlling your narrative from a hurt, from an angry, from a bitter place, that's what your narrative is gonna show. Anger, hurt, bitterness, all of that. All of that. You have the power to control your narrative.
Yes, I agree. So, yeah, I mean, I hope everybody listening well, because, like she said, whether you on one side or the other, you know what I mean, you can either seek help or get something, get in a position to where you can control that. Because, like we all said, like, we want to be positive in this world. We don't want negativity, and a lot of the times drama fuels us. Drama helps us, energizes us. It helps us feel comfortable. Sometimes people bully people to feel comfortable, but I think the biggest thing is to feel positive about ourselves. Once we control that narrative about ourselves, then I think that overall, like, we'll all be good. So,
I just was gonna say really, really fast. G, you had said that him committing suicide was sad. In my opinion, and this is gonna sound kind of harsh, in my opinion, it wasn't sad. It was selfish. It was almost disrespectful. I'm not even gonna say almost. It was disrespectful to everybody involved, because, like you said, he could have took his time. If he, still didn't regain consciousness or regain logic, whatever, he could have killed both of his baby's moms and went to jail, and then allowed them kids to come to him potentially and get the closure and get the questions that they have answered, and maybe come to a understanding or an agreement or some type of something. But for him to kill himself, that's it for them. They have no answers to the questions. And then on top of that, if he really did molest whatever child, I don't know if it was a girl, boy, whatever, now that child has to, if it really did happen, that's a whole different situation to carry. So, he, especially if he did it, he should have took his time. He should have took his time regardless. But if what he was originally being accused of, which caused him to do all of this, if that was true, he should have took his time and been able to give them kids some sort of peace of mind. And so to me, him committing suicide was not sad. It was disrespectful. And it was, I don't know, just, he shouldn't have did it. And so, I mean, yes, I agree with the, get help, get counseling, talk to somebody. Don't let, figure out how to deal with your emotions so that they're not just building up over time. And then eventually you just spill out all over everywhere. But, there's still stuff that he should have taken into consideration before he put everybody's life into his own hands, pretty much. So, I mean, that was my last little bit that I wanted to say.
Well, 100. I hope everybody enjoyed this little reboot of our podcast. This is what you can expect from here on out. And yeah. Yeah. All right.
Boom. Okay, so yeah, we make sure y'all just make sure y'all check us out on all of our pages. You feel me?
We got our make a chess move. Yes, indeed. We got our make a chess move, our make a culture move. Then go ahead and check out our YouTube at Make a Chess Move -MACM. Check out our virtual artist storytelling, which should be coming up real soon. Then check out our website at www.makeachessmove.org. Our virtual workshops are in the works, so look out for that. They should be coming real soon again. And our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Pinterest is all MACM303. All right, make sure y'all leave a like and comment. Let us know, what you guys liked about it, what we can do better. and then let us know what you guys think of the overall podcast. With that being said, y'all
And real quick, y'all, make sure y'all tap in with us March 19th at Cross Purpose. 11 to 3, we doing our MACM annual luncheon. So all is invited. Make sure y'all tap in with us and come to the luncheon. And also to our young ladies and anyone who has daughters, young sisters, nieces, whatever. Me and Aja are doing the Spring Break Female Empowerment Workshop March 31st, March 29th through the 31st. Sorry, y'all, I was blanked on them dates. March 29th through the 31st, we'll be doing the Female Empowerment Workshop for the ladies. And the luncheon is March 19th. So y'all make sure y'all tap in with us for all of them things. And copy you some MACM merchandise. Copy you some MACM merchandise. But boom, that's all I got for y'all. You feel me? Y'all MACM out there.
Sir, y'all MACM out there, man.